Hit record.
Oh my gosh, here we are.
Here we are, Nancy.
It's another one of those good morning, good afternoon time frames.
Well, we're doing it a little bit earlier, so our eyeballs are
Yeah,
still trying to wake up.
we're awake in Bali,
Great to see you.
and we're here to talk about the gems of northern Bali because we've discovered some in our 3 months being here.
Oh my gosh, we were here, April, May, and we fell in love with this north region in Bali, and we're like instantly, let's come back. The weather is perfect during our summer back in your land. And on many levels, North Bali temperatures feels quite a bit like what we're used to. Maybe a little more humidity, but
Okay.
daily, maybe upper 80s, maybe up to 91 each day, cools down to maybe 73 to 75 at night. So it's been perfect.
So I always like starting with a map.
Let's start with a map.
Paul, he loves his maps
Let's see
and
if
I
I
do too.
we love
Yeah.
them. So
let's
let's see
let's see if
where
I can get
North
this.
Bali is.
So if we zoom out a little bit on Bali, just so that for those people that are a little geographically
Challenge.
challenged, I always love this. So there we are. We're just below the equator line, the dotted line there, and above Australia and below the sort of Thailand, Vietnam sort of area. And if we scroll back in, we see that there's Indonesia, there's Java over here on the left, this
Which
big
we
island.
did in May.
And Bali's this tiny little island right here. And today we are going to focus
Ooh.
on a region of
Yes.
North Bali that is the equivalent of about this much.
Oh,
Some lakes and some coasts. And so if we look at that screenshot, we see that this Dusun Suki is the region. I don't know why they call it that. They have like four names for every place, I swear. But I call it Bondalem. So the Bondalem region of the coast is where we're going to start, and then we're going to go over to Lovina here over on the left-hand side, and then up to the the Twin Lakes. Really, it's
our favorite.
three little lakes, and then end over here at Lake Batur. And these upper regions are two big volcano regions, and then the coastal regions are our favorite. And we created a little page on our website under our favorites
Hotelguys.com.
called The Hidden Gems of Bali. And that's what this page is. So we're not going to talk about every last thing on this list, but I have everything listed here. If you want to even just do it as a screenshot right now on the screen and look at it later, or go to hotelguys.com and see all that stuff. So
I just want to say, once you start listing the things up north, you realize that I'm sure other people would send us messages and say, have you done this? Have you done that? But it is truly the region that only 10% of the tourists venture up north at this point. In the future, about 20 minutes away, there's an airport that's kind of slated to be developed. And, quietly we're saying, shh, don't build the airport because it's incredible. Now, the ride up here from the south, from the airport, the one and only into Bali, is, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours. And a lot of people go, oh my God, the drive. And it's like, we love that drive. We've done it a few times now. And the more we're in this region up north, as Paul just like shakes his head when I say, oh, let's get this villa, let's remodel this and live here at this naturist resort that we're in love with, even though, there's talk about eventually Bali on Naturel will be remodeled. But we love North Bali. All right.
okay.
Do
And
you?
yes, and we're gonna let's talk about it.
All right.
And
What you got?
I'm still poor Paul. He struggles a little bit.
Oh
So
my.
we celebrated both of our birthdays at
Uh,
this place. Now we're going to do a naturist. We're going to be in one more naturist place on the Au Naturel tour. in Thailand. And at that, when we're there, we plan to put together a little podcast with you to talk about all of our naturist places all at one time. And we've certainly talked about this place before, and we'll show you a few pictures today.
Yeah.
But mostly we want to just
I
focus.
had like 16 naked birthday buddies at my 72nd birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Everyone's like, oh my God, aren't you 56? I'm proud to be 72, Nancy.
Well, I was 56 if you transpose my number.
Oh, I know. Look at
So-
this one.
That's right.
So I turned 65 here, then a month later.
Yeah.
And so we had wonderful celebrations.
We actually had 2 birthdays for Paul because 65 is hugely significant in America because now he gets to be on the medical care system called Medicare.
Of course, it would help
I know.
if I was actually in the US where I could take advantage of it. But anyway, right.
Yes, it would.
I know,
I
right?
don't need any of that. But we are going to show you just a couple pictures here of our first
This is
gem.
where we are now.
Our first gem of northern Bali. And the reason that we kept coming back here again and again over these 3 months in 2024, we've stayed a very large chunk of it here at Bali Au Natural.
The staff we love.
So this is a picture of our room that we've had more than one room, but this is the room we've been in the most.
This is
And
in
of course, this is one of the money shots. That's our little,
That's our
house,
home.
our little house there.
I want to
on
buy
the
that
pool
one, Nancy.
Is well, we don't need to just rent,
Yeah,
and it's so much better for us.
Oh my God.
And so we just have a few more pictures. This is our expansive bathroom. A lot of the bathrooms here are open to the
to
elements.
nature. We love this bathroom,
It's really
actually.
sweet.
It's
There's
another
actually
person.
2 pools, and this is the pool in the back. So in the warmth of the afternoon, we make our way back there.
We spent actually 5 nights in a room over there, number
Yeah,
6, and
yeah.
we quite enjoy. I mean, it's 2 totally different worlds. It's super chill on this
Yeah.
side,
So
and the
that's-
pool's cooler.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
really
that
sweet.
beautiful?
So it's really
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's about 23 years old, this property, and there's talk that it's going to
Yeah.
get an upgrade eventually.
money.
Here's my
Yeah.
here's my money shot.
So it's just lovely.
That's-
So that's our first hidden gem, and we've certainly talked about that with our
We'll do
followers
more.
on Instagram and all of that.
Yeah.
So the next place we're going to go over to is Lovina and show you
Oh,
now. So we're thinking, so just we'll talk money today as well. So at the place where we are now, that first place, we spend about 100 US a day, and that includes breakfast and dinner,
Yeah.
maybe even a little bit less because we're not drinking beer right now.
yeah, we're
Still.
80 plus days off the buzz liquid.
And
So
we
Okay.
yeah.
are ocean front here, but we don't have a massive beach
Access. It's rocky.
access.
Yeah.
But here at Lovina Beach and Resort, the next gem that we're going to share with you,
$67.
yeah, with breakfast,
Yeah.
with breakfast.
A good buffet breakfast.
And that was a king bed at the coast, a killer deal, and really a sweet little place called Lovina
And
Beach
again, the staff,
Club
they're
and
lovely.
Resort. And so here we are, and Lovina is the region that we're talking about. Here's just a first off a nighttime shot. These
Wow.
little beds they have. I spent hours during the day. We only have a night shot.
Paul's
but-
other room.
My other room, I would just go out there. Wi-Fi was spectacular.
Yeah.
And you just have a complete view. This is basically the view from those.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have a pool view?
They're coming. So here's some
But
sunset
$67,
right at the
Nancy.
coast. There we are. You can see behind us is the restaurant and the little pool that they have. Basically a decent sized pool.
Yeah.
You can walk along the waterfront as well. There's a boardwalk.
Yep. And boats are coming in and taking people out on pontoons for
Beautiful
morning trips.
because of
And
where, even though it's a
Is this the naturist resort also?
Oh, we
No.
wish.
no, this is not. So we're on
Yeah.
to textile.
We had to wear our
region.
little swimwear, which is okay. This is a view from the restaurant.
Yeah. And then there's the restaurant.
Yeah.
And there's another picture of the restaurant area, looking back toward the rooms behind, which
Yeah.
here's our room. And this room didn't have a view of the water or anything like that. The way the rooms there are
Yeah.
designed to sort of look at each other a
Less
little bit.
light, but it worked okay. My only complaint was the stinky toilet seat that smelled like man sweat, Nancy. And I even told them when we left, I go, love the place, but that toilet seat needs to be changed out. And I don't know. I shouldn't even be saying this, but
well, let's talk about it some more. So
yes.
through those doors,
Disgusting.
through those doors is the bathroom, and there's our front entrance. And then this gives you an idea from the front of the building.
Oh, wow, it's lovely.
$67. And there's an upper level as well on the other side if you want to have a higher view, an ocean view. But yeah, this worked out very nicely for us.
Yeah, so our gems kind of were two places at the coast, and there are a number of activities that we did. And on our website, we've included, because we were putting it all on paper, we haven't really done it quite that way. We even added some of the restaurants that we liked in the region too.
I was going to say, Lovina for us, it's kind of, not only is there another fabulous naturist resort called Bali Nature.
Right.
And Care has a little 4-room guest house. And we love that place. We love her family. And we love restaurants there. So yeah, you added some of our little hot spots for food.
And there are some other activities right around the Lovina area that's on our list that include a place called Aling Waterfalls. And there's a number of natural waterfall type places to go, and you can hike and jump into the waterfalls.
If you're under 50, I think.
No, you can do it at any age. They're not jumping IDs.
No, but that was quite a hike to go to Aling Falls. Very interesting. A lot of good pictures.
And what does the word ling mean?
Aling.
I don't know what Aling means.
Aling. I don't know.
Oh, you goofball.
No, and on my birthday, we were there, and then we went to the hot springs, the holy hot springs, and it was raining that day. So that was spectacular to feel really the rain coming down and then being in.
It's actually kind of cool to be
water.
in and that could have been
the
hotter.
Thermal.
Wasn't one of my favorite places, but
I liked it.
There are activities. There's activities around, including the Buddhist temple that we went to at midnight. But we didn't include pictures of that because we wanted to.
Sunset.
At sunset, yeah.
So we're never up at midnight, for God's sake.
Not usually. But we did, because we wanted to focus so much on the upcountry places.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you.
That Buddhist temple is spectacular, Nancy.
I bet.
We're
going to show you this place. Let me get back.
Where are we?
Well, we have to get back. We're still not sharing. Let me get to share.
Sunny and share. What do you got?
I'm trying to share. Not quite sure why I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I'm a novice at this.
It just keeps them on the edge of the
So do you see that, Nancy?
Yes.
So this,
wow.
So now we've gone up country. I call it up country. It's like that's the terminology of.
Well, from this place, it's like an hour and a half to this specific site on an amazing lake.
Right, up from Lovina into the hills. So it's up from the coast, and you arrive at. So there's 13 volcanoes in Bali, and 2 of them are we're going to talk about today. They're Mount. This is Mount.
One
of them is Mount Batur, and one of them is Mount Bratan.
Beratan here.
Bratan. The mountain is actually Bratan and Batur, and so the first one is Bratan, and this isn't I don't think it's an active volcano. At least it's not the one. If it's active, it's almost inactive. But
Now this is at what was it, 4,300 foot elevation?
Yeah.
And so fresh in the morning. I mean, we were actually wearing jeans. It was maybe, I don't know, in the morning, 59 degrees.
And we found a wonderful hotel. Speaking of price point, this one.
Another one. I think it was $67 again.
Yeah, it was also very reasonable with breakfast. A very simple 3-star, maybe 2.5-star hotel.
Paul calls it our $1 million view.
Oh, it's incredible. Wait till you see the views. But this is the picture from the outside. We get checked in.
Simple lobby.
Our room is very standard and straightforward. Has a little outdoor seating area. You see there, very helpful young staff.
Yep, they were.
And this was a little area to sit outside. And then that's the view from our hotel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, Switzerland.
Yeah, Paul kept going,
Yeah, no
"This is
kidding.
Switzerland."
Yeah, look at that.
That's the restaurant, upper level.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous.
It was.
This is the Bratan volcano, and this is Lake Beratan. I was struggling with these words. Lake Beratan. And one of the reasons that we're there is because there is a very popular shore shore temple,
A Hindu
shore,
temple.
on the shore of the lake that's just across the street from our hotel. We walked from there.
3-minute walk.
So this is the little restaurant on the top floor. It's only
beautiful.
Yeah. There we are.
We're bundled.
We had to put on a few more layers. It was
but it felt so good to be
60 or so degrees Fahrenheit in the morning.
It's a great way to cool down after being in upper 80s.
We also got out onto the lake, so you can take, and we have a little video on our website. We didn't show it to you because
it's like about a 30-minute speedboat ride
around the lake.
And initially Paul's like, "Do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Well,
no.
just gonna be a little loop around the lake. I can kind of see
it was
and
great.
He just kept going, "Are you ready to do the speedboat?"
I was ready.
And we went early in the morning to this temple, which is like the recommendation, because by midday, especially on the weekend, I think buses are coming up from Ubud.
So this is the name of the shore temple that you see there, and that we happened to run into a street procession going to, I believe, another temple. There's a lot of temples in Bali.
But look at this, Nancy, and it was just like
beautiful.
Dozens and dozens.
Isn't that something? And we just like
these
are the kind of things you just stumble into in the among the hidden.
It was like 9:30 in the morning on our way down to the temple. And again,
did you guys have a car?
No,
we didn't. We took a drive. We had a driver take us from point to point, and it was very easy to do that.
Here only to navigate out. We otherwise walked.
So inside the temple, after that first procession, there was another special event that was happening. This is at the shore in the temple.
Now, did you post a video of this on our site yet?
Yeah.
This was amazing, Nancy. I really wanted to have you hear this. The music was incredible that morning. I loved it.
So here's the entrance to the temple.
Yes.
And this is a standard, typical entrance. You walk between those two kind of pillar-like things.
Yeah.
And onto the lake. And the grounds at this place were stunning.
We love the grounds here.
It was really fun to walk around. And this is the kind of thing you see. And then there's the actual, this is the temple. This is the shore temple. And the whole complex around it. It's not very big complex.
No, but there's places to eat. There's like souvenir shops. I mean, there's a children's playground area.
Yeah.
And there's like a ton of places that you can do, photography.
Right. Speaking of which.
Oh my gosh. These people, Nancy, are from Java. And like we said, we were there early in the morning. So it was like really nice. We weren't like feeling crowded at all. And suddenly a man comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, photo. And long story short, I was like, I don't know, a rock star for maybe 10 minutes. They weren't interested in photographing Paul at all. I don't know if it's my blue eyes or what.
I thought I had two in here.
But I posed with these men, and then I think there was some women.
There was some other, there were other pictures
as well.
This is the concise version, so we just have one picture.
I
was taking the pictures.
A hoot.
And then there's a lot of fun, frivolous.
It's good for Leo's ego.
Yeah, pictures to take. And then this is Ulun is lake, and Danu is actually I think Ulun Danu Beratan is lake.
Is the lake?
Yeah, it's the lake.
Yes.
And there's
a little coffee stop and pizza. Lovely little coffee restaurant.
So before we get to the next garden that we went to, we want to show you a video of a place that we went to after the shore temple. There's an amazing, also within walking distance, a little bit of a longer and
up the hill,
steeper walk up the hill. But we went to the Bali Botanical Garden.
That
That
was
was
really fun
amazing.
because we rented e-scooters, and you know, there are so many things we love about that area, because on a scooter you can zip around, and at one point I go, oh my God, I feel like I'm 15.
Well, I'll
It's
show
like
you.
downhill skiing for me, you
Well, I'll
know,
show you because
which I don't do
he
anymore.
was 15.
Um,
So here's just a little, I think, oh, I was going to run this on this. I forgot.
so at the botanical garden.
So let's listen to this just a minutes. I think we'll run the whole thing. It's too fun.
Oh,
Can you hear that, Nance?
No,
Can you hear it?
no.
no sound.
Okay.
All right. He's just giving me advice on
We'll
how to
watch it.
navigate
We'll
the
watch
scooter.
it without, whoops, well, we can't mute that out.
Yeah. So yeah, here's my little e-bike.
But the park, the botanical park is really expansive. So we needed these things actually to ride around.
Now this is hilarious. This was really our favorite spot up on the high point. There's a old banyan tree, and Paul had to like use his extra long legs to navigate up the hill.
Mine wasn't quite strong enough.
But the smell up there with just autumn
it reminded us of Portland, actually.
Yeah, it did. And
Wow.
this is a famous shot area where we saw a couple that were posing for wedding photography.
In their wedding picture.
But oh my God, the smell. We went up there twice just to experience it. And yeah, just
It looked gorgeous.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how old it is now, 60 years or so since it was developed. And there's like a bamboo forest that we loved hanging out in.
Yeah, we
a lot of
also, yeah, we love
statues.
riding those little scooters. We would actually ride them more if there was no other traffic on the roads, but we just don't have,
Yeah, in this park, it was
super
really,
easy.
really easy to navigate.
And there we are at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see that was a great fun. So that was another one of the really the hidden gems. And you know, there's a view of the lake because you're higher than we were even at the hotel. And so you really get some money shots.
All right.
So
Now,
you're seeing the Bloom's Garden, Nance?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
we're go back to another one of the gems. Also nearby is it's kind of like a place for a photo shoot garden.
It is. I mean, Paul, I really, as a gardener, I kind of wanted to do more infill with the plants
Yeah,
because I
it
felt
was
like there
fun
were
though.
moments
It's
where,
this kind of stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of statues and yeah. So the overall garden, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I just want to make more plants. And
Yeah, I mean, we
in the garden.
started with the one that was the platinum, which was the lakeside temple area. That garden there was amazing.
So the love garden was nice. A
But
lot of
we had
wax begonias.
some fun shots. The weather was good.
Look at that. I
Some
love that one.
interesting artsy stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
very
use of English ivy.
topiary.
Yeah, about the only good use.
I know. I knew you were going to say something because in Oregon we have way too much of that English ivy,
And
and
there,
it kills out our big trees.
there we are with the
Yeah.
Oh,
peacock.
Yeah,
that's
and there's
just absolutely magical.
Really fun.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
another place nearby, God, I don't think I can pronounce this.
Oh, don't try.
This is a famous rice paddy. This is actually a UNESCO World Heritage site.
Yeah, yeah.
And this also was a little bit of a drive. We were there 3 nights. And so on the last full day, we had a driver take us to this area. It's like a half hour away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was like, you could do a half a day, you could do a 1 hour hike into the rice paddies, and we opted for about an hour.
But you can see this is
Places to stop for food, but
these are active. Obviously, it's not like they designed this for tourists like some of this other stuff.
No.
These are active rice paddies.
The water systems, how it
These
just
things are all over the place, but this particular one draws.
Wow.
yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
It's like for me, well, you and I live in wine country, and there's something magical, right, about being in wineries and all those plants. And it's really the same
Super.
here.
Yeah.
Um,
And then there's also, so in
uh,
addition, this area, this Mount Bratan area actually has three lakes. You may have noticed three little lakes. The one that was on the right was the Danu one that we were focusing on, Beratan. And but the other two are called Twin Lakes. And this is another temple that was at one of the Twin Lakes. So on our way out of town, we stopped here and took a couple pictures.
we had the
And
place completely to ourselves, and
there,
out of respect, they provided, the sarong wrap
sarongs.
for us. Here's one of the lakes.
Yeah, so here was
And
a place to take a picture.
if you look, I want to say way up into the back, you'll see the tallest, most active volcano.
Oh yeah, in the way in the back in the corner
is the
behind
big one.
behind my left shoulder.
And as a matter of fact, Nancy, about 2, 3 days ago, I was doing a Zoom call with my men's group friends, and I'm stopping them. I'm like, oh my God, there's an earthquake. Well, yes, there was an earthquake here. It registered 4.9.
I didn't feel
The
it.
tabletop was just like
Yeah.
doing
It's
this.
funny, I was in an adjacent room and I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
But
So it's an active region for volcanic vibration.
This is another temple, shore temple at the lake, at a different lake. Not
Yeah, if you
quite
do a hike, then you finally come out
gorgeous.
there by canoe, I think, is if you do that walking hike.
So that gives you an idea. These are very, this stuff was, it's an active temple, but it's mostly feels more not abandoned, but it doesn't have the tourist sort of feeling about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, a lot of these places, well, the first one where you were dressed in your orange, he told us that dates back 400 years. And as they need to be updated, they kind of just build on top of the existing sites. So yeah, that was his take.
Right.
When we stopped there. But yeah, North Bali, clean air.
When did you get to Bali the second time?
We came back from India. Well, almost. We leave today is Monday, our Monday, and we leave on
the 14th.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So as of Saturday, we've been back 2 months because we came back in on
really.
He says it's hard to believe.
It is, after 30.
Yeah, it is hard to believe.
Like a 30
yeah, we've really enjoyed it. And the reason that we came back was one, we loved this Balio Natural enough to come back here for more. But also south of the equator, we realized this is where all the Australians who are just coming out of the depths of their winter.
Yeah.
This is where they all come. It's a very mild, wonderful summer
they're
for them.
Abundant, coming and going from Bali on that.
So we realized that
Australia.
the weather, just this few degrees, I think we're eight degrees south of the equator, is perfect.
The weather is perfect.
We're kind of waiting for the weather in the north of the equator here in Southeast Asia to improve. And so we'll move on to Malaysia and then to Thailand, where by then it'll be the high season and the European tourists kind of, and everybody else pops over into the Thailand area.
I mean, this location, I mean, I don't want to oversell it. We keep saying, don't say anything. But,
well, here we are doing hidden gems.
To drive an hour up into like a climate that feels so fresh, and then to kind of go, okay, I don't want to wear jeans anymore. And then like, boom, here you are down at the beach.
Right. There's a part of me that wants to try to go back to,
ooh, where are you going? To the map?
I wanted to go to back to the list before we switch to the last one. Oh, rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Work it, Paul.
We'll go back to share and then go back to the map real quick, just to show you that we've done the Bondalem area, the Lovina area with some of those extra activities. And then this Mount Bratan, there's the rice terraces, even some of the restaurants that we ate at, the panoramic views. You can actually do a canoeing and trekking event, expedition around the Twin Lakes. We didn't do that this time. We probably will next time. We love that. So the last area that we want to talk to you about, and maybe extra credit, will be this very bottom one, Mimpy. But we're going to talk to you about Mount Batur.
Mimpy was fun, by the way. It's
Yeah,
like we have a singing bowls video of Paul after his therapy treatment at Mimpy. And that now has like 18,000 views of him kind of sharing that experience
right. Trying to get to
at
Instagram.
Mimpy.
There we go. So this
Okay.
is actually our Instagram page, and we're going to experiment by showing you
Oh.
this video. So we went to another lake location, and here we are, a little video of us checking into our little villa. We
Now,
have
this is our butler, Komang, who brought us breakfast, who, transported our luggage. Delightful, delightful young man.
So this is a lakeside villa on Lake Batur, and
Yeah.
this was $88 a night, including breakfast.
Yeah.
You can see that, Nance?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. So this big villa has a private pool.
And kind of an open concept with some of the living area outside and the bedroom area ourselves. Our friend there in the what do you call that? A smock? What do you call that? This is our friend and the front desk manager from Bali Au Naturel, who wanted to come up in with the driver to see this place.
Yeah,
So
he hadn't been up
Wow.
into this region for over a year.
So he wanted to come up and see this particular place.
Yeah, so
and we'll show you some more. And so here's another.
the grounds on this property were spectacular.
So there's our little private pool. You're seeing that okay?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
that
this
just looks terrible.
I know. It was fresh because of the temperature change. So everything's purple here, Nancy.
Into our room.
There's a huge purple theme. And if you go to Toya
Toya Devasya.
Toya Devasya.
Toya Devasya. And here's some of the pictures. It's a water park, actually.
It's unlike any place we've ever been. Paul's like, oh my God, this place is trippy. So we kept saying trippy every time we looked around. And it's been like, creatively decorated with purple elephants and statues and multiple pools. Here's a good shot of one of the pools.
Oh, wow.
Pool. So that's so this entire area that we're in is inside a volcanic crater.
Yeah.
Wow.
It completely surrounds this whole area.
And the creation of this crater was like 20,000 years ago.
Yeah. Here's a little bit more at a colorful sunset.
With drinks, of course.
Yep.
Purple elephants galore. I'm sure we're showing you a lot, but here's one of them.
Water feature.
You can also take a boat trip, which we had arranged and it got canceled. Unfortunately, we did it on the last day, so we missed it.
Yeah.
But
too windy.
It was too windy that particular day.
But it was out to a village, out to a temple, and a special burial site. I really regret not seeing that.
Lots of places to eat.
Yeah.
On site.
This is one of our 3 housekeepers
that descended every day.
In addition to our butler. They did
beautiful flowers. Garden. And there's the last shot, kind of that outdoor concept. We could lay in the sun by the pool.
Yeah. Nudista.
And of course,
but chilly.
Yeah. And I think that was the last one of that. We are going to show you one more.
Okay. So are we back?
We're back with Nancy.
So do you see this, Nancy?
I do.
All right. This is our travel fly swatter. And I highly recommend when you go up to that lake region to bring your own fly swatter, because the flies are everywhere at the resort, everywhere you go out. And it's because it's a sweet onion region and they're growing onions everywhere. And they use chicken poop for fertilizer. And the resort did nothing to kind of kill them. So I think and without like a whole lot of Buddha guilt and shame, it's like I didn't even have to apologize. It's just like, die, you damn flies.
Even when we went, so there were activities. I know they were unrelenting.
It was horrible.
Yeah. And even when we went out, because one of the activities on Mount Batur is to go on a volcano jeep tour. So we did.
That was fun.
There we are at the villa when we're leaving in the back of the Jeep.
Yeah.
Here we are in the Jeep. Cute little thing.
Tour.
Just an afternoon tour. A lot of people do it at sunrise.
I was going to say the same thing.
It requires you waking up just a little too early.
Paul's like,
for
we
us.
don't get up at 4.
Well, we
and
might be
get on a
awake, but
Jeep
we don't
at
want to do
Dedanau.
that. It was more fun in the afternoon. It was
Now, this is the sand region, and this was as a result of an eruption in 2017, and it created this whole black sand portion of the mountain.
2017.
no,
That's
it
not-
wasn't 17. I think it was
2017 for the black one, and
I thought it was 63
63,
and 2000 is what we put in.
2007.
It
Oh,
was 2000. Yeah,
2000. My
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, there was
another
there was a
eruption.
small eruption in 17, but it
Yes.
didn't create this.
There you go. Thank you.
And these are not like in Hawaii, we're maybe more used to flowing
Yes.
lava. This is explosive. These
Yeah.
volcanoes are explosive here. This is, we're not so far from Mount Toba, which of course is the super eruption of the ages. Okay, now these two kids are 10 years old, for Christ's sake.
They're 10 and they wanted to talk to us. We were like on the road stop because there was a utility pole project going on, and they're like, hello, and they're speaking English and they're super friendly. And I'm like, you're too young to be on that bike. He goes, I'm 10. I go, wow.
Well, so you don't see
go,
this in the
"You're-"
city. We're in the country, and so they're from
I'm like, you're a good driver. And he looks at me and he goes, no, I'm not.
no.
No, I'm not.
He actually was.
They were delightful.
It's really cute.
Oh, they look delightful.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and
this is the joy of travel.
and it's the joy of Bali too.
Everyone up here is like super friendly.
There we are.
Now, this is in the eruption from 63, where it just blew massive chunks of rock, volcanic rock, out into this.
So this is not a flow. This isn't. This was from an
It
eruption.
it killed a lot of
amazing.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to buy a piece of art from this mama and her.
Of course.
And this was at the top of the beach. These were the only other people up there at the sand region. This is where bikers come up and they use their motorcycle cross country kind of bikes.
There's motocross up there.
Yeah.
And they'll run up the hill. And
Yeah.
let's see, I think was I gonna do
What do you got?
These are pictures from Toya Devasya. It gives you more purple elephants, basically, and the lake
This
interface.
was the only place where flies weren't happening, and it was that windy
When
day
it was windy.
when we couldn't go out on the water. This is the spa, but everything has a purple theme. Yeah, I just was in photography heaven. Look at that bench.
And there's fancy villas, but you can also camp here. And so there's a couple of different hiker camps.
Now purple tents.
Yeah.
And they for the lower budget folks.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Incredible.
That's wonderful.
It is. It's really wonderful for the locals.
Yeah.
Maybe there were fewer, there were more domestic tourists than maybe international.
No, there were a lot of Chinese people there when we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also is for all price points too.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So, and
Olympic-sized pool, several pools, like I said earlier.
Wow.
Lakefront, a lot of fun things.
Purple, purple, purple. Now look at the ceiling on this little seating area over the lake. All pieces of wood. I mean, it's just like everywhere I turned.
Things are blooming. I mean,
oh my God.
The climate is so temperate. Things just are very happy.
It was spectacular.
The plants.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. We did it.
Yeah.
Now the last place we wanted to share with you was Mimpy, and I don't know if we're going to have time or not. But on our website,
less
Nancy,
than a minute, Paul, we have to wrap it up.
We're going to just wrap it up with Nancy
because we're going to Malaysia in a few days.
So thank you so much for everything, as usual.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't let her talk much. Maybe we'll let you talk us out.
We're so sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm just agog. Really, I had no idea that Bali was so really magnificent.
Yeah,
and I had no idea that it was so the elevation, that it had such changes in elevation. I just assumed it was all island-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for